Welcome back, lords and ladies, as we go to the quarry and set up an ambush for Dr. Gorman. Let's get it done. I didn't know what to expect in the quarry, but I knew it was going to be battle of my life, and I knew that once I went down there I wouldn't be able to change any of my weapons, nor Phineas for that matter. At this point there was no return before I entered. I had to be sure I was completely ready for this. Let's do it. I've worked that quarry ever since I could have the pickaxe, and I never saw a dime from it, but now I was free and I could walk in there and put a bullet in the head of every son of a bitch who treated me rough, called me a foul names and worse. But the slavers are cowards at heart. As soon as they saw me, realised who I was and what I could do, them soft boys ran like a pack of scared piglets. It felt good, just not as good as plugging them full of lead. And to be fair, now that I remember this, I guess I might owe some of that to what I could do now with this superior body you made me. But back then I was angry and I wanted answers. Why'd you choose me? Why'd you leave me to die there? What kind of man would do something like this? So I waited and I knew you'd show up eventually.
Liberty, I implore you. Let us go back to the surgery and I will show you. Circumstances forced me to abandon you.
Right. So he's still got his stuff. His aim is terrible. Dang, okay. No trinkets. Does he have anything? He's got a healing thing. Okay.
The surgery was a triumph, and a resounding validation of my theories. Unless I stabilized your graphs, though, it would all be for naught. I prepared to redirect the flow of ether to you. Phineas was to open the valve on my signal.
Then, okay, in one turn, open the ether valve using the main valve, then redirect it using the console. Ether is not flowing. Okay. Okay.
It was done. I sighed with relief and smiled with barely contained satisfaction.
When you start smiling, I start worrying.
That's when I heard the commotion outside.
Right, investigate the commotion. Got a bad feeling about this.
A bunch of scoundrels held their guns with what I interpreted as a hostile intention. Initially, I mistook them for morphine addicts looking to ease their pain. Then I realized they were led by a masked doctor. That preposterous plague mask was unmistakable.
Okay, so they're coming here to kill me, I take it. Need to get into cover. Right, combat. Get to here. Go for the. I can do 8 damage up front, and he's got the highest health. So let's try. Dagnabbit. Okay, that's bad. I mean, I could try and spray and pray. Yeah, let's try and spray and pray on the boss. I killed the boss anyway. They're pinned in behind that terrain. Right, we've got to reload. You're going to get back inside the building and get to high ground. Managed to chip her a bit. Ooh, they're pushing up. Man, they're really not holding back. Get up the stairs. Go for this one. Actually, we'll go for one further in the back. Kill him. Kill that one. Man, they are really taking cover. Ow. Hit me for a little bit of damage, that's not great. Gotta reload. Take a shot at him. Reload. Peg this one that's sticking out of cover.
For every rascal we eliminate, 2 more appear. Fighting them individually was futile. Quickly, I came up with a plan. If I overloaded the pump in the chapel, it would distract them.
Oh boy, this is going to get fun. Right. You need to get down here and get that valve unlocked. Oh, there's another one? That's not great. Oh, don't tell me this is the impossible mission I've heard about. Okay. Basically, folks, there's an impossible mission which is supposed to be super, super hard, which is, I suspect, is this one. Right. The problem is the enemy are going to keep spawning until we get this done, which sucks. So we have to keep pushing. Can't go that way, they'll get us pinned. But I can get to there. Can he get the valve? Yeah.
The trap was set. The pump explosion would knock everyone there unconscious. Meantime, I needed to get help and try to find some answers.
Right. The problem is now, this is the issue that we have, because now he has to run all the way back here to get the device started, which sucks. I can see why they call this the impossible mission. Right. Is there any way to get through this gate? Problem is the enemies are just got to keep spawning until I leave. Ouch. Yeah, okay, that's not great. Because I'm going to have to shoot him if I want to get out of here. Right, kill him off. Oh man, this is a terrible mission. The problem is I bet, yeah, there's going to be more enemies coming in from this way. Right. So he needs to run to here. Come on, I can get that far. Okay, I can't, can I? Okay. Why can't I get in through this door? Okay, so I can run around all around here, but I can't go. Oh, because there's someone standing in the door. Really? It's not good if there's someone in the doorway. Oh, they've moved, have they? Right. Let's get up to here then. Problem is he needs to go here. So he can kill her. And I need to have him run down here. So I think the enemies continue to spawn. I mean, I can reach this thing. Right. Right, get him into cover. Man, this is a hard mission. Get him into cover. Get the valves unlocked. Phew.
The blast resulting from the overloading ether pump was a sight to behold. Heavy though it weighed on my heart, I knew I could not solve that conundrum in the cemetery. I had to find the other masked doctors and tell them of this treason.
And I'm supposed to believe that's why you left me to die?
I had no choice, but I instructed Phineas to protect you. and you survive.
Man, that was a hard fight. Sharpshooter's arm we picked up, which is good. We got the Pharaoh Golem, sturdy shoes, and that's about it to our name. Okay. The attack on my laboratory was shocking. I expected a rogue sector in our organisation that made me their target. I was confident, however, that my good friend and leader of the Mars Doctors, Dr. Duval, would clear this matter up in no time. I was only partly right. When I told him about the attack, he smiled condescendingly and admitted that he was behind it. Then he went on a screed about my renegade actions and outlandish experiments, saying they were a blight on his political career. He intended to win the governor's position by ridding Texas of the scourge of body snatchers. I reminded him of the ideals of the society he helped establish. He laughed harshly and said that Mars Doctors were no longer mattered, at least not beyond the political and economic connections they granted. They might as well no longer exist. That was when his thugs began manhandling me. I would spare you the details, but it was more than a little unpleasant. I woke up on the operating table with De Vere's head floating above me. He asked me to choose which body part I'd want him to mutilate first. I told him to do his worst. That's probably the worst thing.
My radical ideas upset the primitive minds of the locals, which put me at odds with Duval's political ambition. He betrayed me, left me mutilated and humiliated in a refuge for penniless wretches.
It had been several months since Duval mutilated my body, and I hardly recuperated. But by the time the wounds he inflicted on me turned into scars, I was a different man. My reputation was ruined, my patients were being tended to by my competitors, my possessions to be taken by the Home Guard. Worst of all, I had no news for you, my despair was bottomless. Still, I regained strength over time. Luckily, I'd lost none of my medical skills and was able to help around the shelter. This also proved an excellent opportunity to continue my research. Eventually, I recruited 3 of my fellow inmates to my cause: Theodore, Leos, and Gunther. Theodore had been a travelling merchant. With my limited resources, I could either restore his amazing sight or his well-travelled legs. Superior aim. Louise was a cross-old hag who harboured romantic feelings for me. I had no interest in her, of course, but I'd never been unfaithful to you, Liberty. For combat purposes, however, I could restore Louise's amazing endurance if I removed what she called her lucky wart. Okay, it's more important. Gunther lost his command in the American-Mexican War of 1846 and returned home to a haunted man who cared not for life. The only enthusiasm I ever saw in him was when he joined my team, testament to his powerful death wish. He was unfortunately completely out of shape. With what few supplies I had, I removed his less vital organs and improved his durability, or removed the contracts in his eyes, allowing him to suit better. I fixed his eyes. These improvements got my men back into fight, but there was much more I could accomplish with the right parts and ether. Throughout all of this film, my primary goal remained finding you. We left the misery of the Zelda behind. I was determined to make something of my companions and of myself. Right. So we get -4 sight. The skull healed well. What was lost in intelligence was made up for in speed and luck. Movement, max HP, and luck. Okay. Gouged eye. This eye couldn't be saved, but it seemed it was just holding your other eye back. +4 sight, +1 damage, +1 max P, but we lost for 5% luck. Okay, that's not great. Got the decay and property. Boy, we got a rough crew of people. Okay. Dang, okay. Attack the... Okay, so what we've got Lazaretto, Congregation. We could attack the harbour, Maple Falls, Medicine Show, Morgue. Shop is up there. Okay. Let's go Lazaretto. Let's try down there. I'd arrived in the local leper house filled with miserable, discarded and forgotten human beings. Forgotten being their key word. It seemed no one seeing this potential source of ether, not even my former colleagues. I had an enlightened conversation with a local priest who now suffered from leprosy as well. Let's go with that. Halfway through his riveting tale, the good priest went silent and pale. Then he reached into his mouth and produced his severed tongue. He looked at me, mute and helpless. I put the rotting tongue on ether, then helped the man stop the bleeding and dress the wound. The man was thankful for the help, but even though he had effectively become mute. Right, collect a certain amount of ether. It cost me some time, but I collected a large amount of biological matter. The misery of the leprosy of Leto struck me as both a pity and a waste. I asked around about you discreetly, of course. They said no one matching your description had visited them. Okay. So I got a tongue. I have a feeling that the tongue is something that we needed. We could go to the morgue. That's probably going to be a bad idea, but I exercised the utmost caution when approaching the morgue. I knew Duval would have warned all the employees against me. I needed to find one that actually knew me. So I waited until nightfall and caught Venison when he was leaving. He was happy to see me alive. I told him what happened. He was very supportive. He said he'd trade with me, but I explained that he would need extra coin to keep his employees' mouths shut. Okay, so everything's going to be more expensive. So that's the priest's tongue. Unidentified organ, third eye, stinger, and living spine. Right. God, all of these are expensive as anything. Right. Problem is we don't have like the other recipes anymore, so I can't remember what we needed. I know I had one that made the Revenant, and I know I had one that made Homo Superior. Human tail, identified organ, third eye, stinger, and what was that? Living spine. Vampire's brain. Don't think we have any of the ones we actually need. Yeah, we don't. Okay. Right. We're going to go quickly to the general store. I arrived. Let's see if we can get... We have a bit of cash. Let's see what they have from weapons. Fitzpatrick revolver. Only does 3 damage? Oh, it's damage versus half cover 3, damage versus full cover 3. Okay, so I see. It means that if you're fighting someone in cover, it does more damage just generally overall. Actually, that's not too bad, but that's a lot of money. Lots of bomb types. Okay, let's get down to the congregation. I found a small village founded by minor religious sect. They mostly kept to themselves, so perhaps you had met them. They offered herbal goods to trade. Yeah, I might get some of these. Take 3 of them. It'll cost me a pretty penny, but and we'll ask about as well. They claim they never heard of you, though I had the impression they were hiding something. I couldn't act on it. I returned to congregation. Right, so we've all got creeping decay. We better go and get that healed, to be honest. Okay, so it's going to cost me more ether now to get stuff. Yeah. So everything is more expensive. Okay. I have to be more careful then. I'll probably attack the harbour next session. Right. I'll probably attack the harbour the next session then, and then we'll go on to Maple Falls and the medical. Yeah, that sounds about right. This is going to be fun. But anyway, so what we'll do is we'll do the battle next episode, and then we'll go Maple Falls and medical show. This is going to be a fun time. But anyway, I've been Cornish-knight. If you have liked, please press the like button. If you wish to subscribe, please press the subscription button. You can follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Steam, or you can look me up in the comment section and leave a comment there. This has been Hard West, Scars of Freedom. I've been Cornish-knight, and I shall see you all next turn. Goodbye.